How can we help you address the long-term care dilemma faced by many families? Namely, how do we help you avoid probate upon your death and protect your assets if you unfortunately become sick and need long-term care? Let's talk about how we, as a team of experts, can help you and your family. We provide experience, expertise, and advocacy through your entire elder care journey. We consider the most important concerns that you have today, all with a satisfying experience. We identify your issues and goals, and we provide you with a comprehensive legal plan to resolve these concerns. The first area of concern we always consider is that question of what happens when I die. For most people, they want to avoid the costly and time-consuming process of probate. Probate is the legal process where your assets are distributed to your heirs, and any debt owed is paid to your creditors. Probate consists of several basic steps. 1. Your personal representative is appointed to administer the estate. 2. Your property is identified and inventoried. 3. Your properties are appraised. 4. Debts and taxes are paid. And 5. Your remaining assets are distributed to your heirs. Usually the probate process takes on average about 1 year to perform, and it is both public and costly. So how do we avoid probate? By the use of a revocable trust. The revocable trust is in existence during your lifetime with a trustee who is responsible for managing the property in the trust. Upon your death, the successor trustee will distribute the property to your beneficiaries. Probate is avoided as the trust owns the property, not you. However, you are the owner of the trust. So probate can be avoided, and through our expertise, we can provide proven methods to do so. But as fiduciaries and stewards of your total well-being, we need to complete the elder care journey. We have to address that second area of concern, and that is what happens if I don't pass away too soon, but instead I get sick along the way and need some form of help. 70% of people turning 65 today will eventually need some form of long-term care. That's 70%. Nearly 3 out of 4 people need care. And the average cost of a nursing home in this area, as well as many others, is well over $10,000 a month. That's over $120,000 a year for just one person. So if you need, or if your loved one needs long-term care, who can afford this? This can undo all of the work we have done to avoid probate, as you may not have any assets left. Can anything be done to protect your assets that you've worked so hard to save? How can we address this long-term care dilemma that nobody wants to talk about, and really let's address how you can afford it? To start with, over 8,000 baby boomers are turning 65 each and every day. And from our perspective, this is a big deal, as most prudent boomers are more concerned about running out of money and being a burden to their kids than they are about dying. If and when you become sick and need care, most people think they will simply put a nice chunk of change away to pay for it. But with nursing home costing well over $10,000 a month or $120,000 a year, your plan may not succeed. Let's back up just a little bit and talk about what is long-term care. The first thing that always comes to mind, even though it shouldn't, is a nursing home. At this point, you're unable to perform at least 2 out of 6 activities of daily living, such as bathing, dressing, eating, continence, and toileting. Or you are severely cognitively impaired, such as Alzheimer's disease, and you need care or some help along the way. You don't always just get this care in a nursing home. In fact, people receive long-term care in 3 places. 1, at home, 2, assisted living facilities, and 3, nursing home. Most people want to stay in their home and receive some care from family members and home health care agencies. The care provided is to help them with those activities of daily living and maintaining your quality of life and your dignity. The average hourly cost of home health care these days is about $25 an hour, and that cost can increase dramatically depending on the number of hours of care you need. The assisted living facility is more of a residential type setting, with a registered nurse and nursing assistants providing the care. The average cost of assisted living facilities can be $6,000 to $8,000 per month. So if you end up in a nursing home, or like most people, you start with home health care, then you move to assisted living, and finally finish out in a nursing home, your life savings could be wiped out, leaving your spouse and your loved ones in a very hard position to be in. It's up to you to address this very real issue. Most people incorrectly believe that Medicare will pay the cost of nursing home, but it doesn't. Medicare will only cover rehabilitation up to 100 days. After 100 days, you are on private pay, and that cost could be well over $10,000 a month. No government agencies, whether it be Medicare or Medicaid, pays for home health care or assisted living facilities, and Medicaid only pays for nursing care when you are broke. So what do I mean? Medicaid will only pay for your cost of care when you spend your assets below $2,500. So let's say that you have $100,000. If you have privately paid for your care at $10,000 per month, after 10 months, you will have nothing left. So you are now under the $2,500 and will qualify for Medicaid. Now, there are some exempt assets for a single person, including prepaid funeral plans, burial plots, and life insurance with cash values under $1,500. For married couples, you get the same things, plus a primary residence for the spouse, a car, and an amount a little over $120,000 that changes annually depending on the law. So let's say we have a married couple, Bob and Sally. Bob unfortunately falls and breaks his hip, ends up going into the nursing home, and the prognosis looks like he's never going to return. If Bob and Sally have a checking account, a savings account, an IRA, and a 401k, and the amount of $400,000, then we've got that $400,000, less the current amount allowable for this year, leaving them with a little over $250,000 that will have to be spent in the nursing home, spent down to qualify for Medicaid. So what are your options to pay for your care? Basically, you have three. You can be rich and fund your own care. You can be poor and have no money and Medicaid will pay the bill. Or you can prepare an asset protection plan by our office. We will review your assets and plan for your long-term care by various strategies such as irrevocable trusts, utilizing long-term care plans, and asset protection strategies. Is it important to you that you protect these assets that you've worked long and hard for from the government and the nursing home? Let me ask you this question. Would it make sense for you to see your options and the ways in which we can protect your assets from the catastrophe of being sick and needing long-term care? Our goal is to understand more about you, and then we will be in a better position to show you what we can accomplish. As the old saying goes, if you have money, you have options. If you have no money, you have no options. We think you want options, and as a team of experts, we want to make sure you know what those options are. Education is key, and you've already come this far in your journey. Don't let your options fade away from you. Give us a call today and schedule time with our team. Your family will thank you.